Hey y'all, this is Chris Hicks and welcome to the Southern Rock Insider. If you like what you see, please hit subscribe and click the notification bell. It's time to rock Southern style.
The Southern Rock Insider.
Howdy folks, Chris Hicks with you here at the Southern Rock Insider. We're at the Crow's Nest of Capricorn Studio on our truth-seeking mission to find the facts out about Southern Rock. Is what we're doing, and at any cost, risking life and limb sometimes to get the truth out. But today we're going to talk about Dickey and Duane, Dickey Betts and Duane Allman. Sure, you know who those two guys are, and boy, they set the world on fire with the two records they cut before and the Fillmore East Live, especially that album. I think anybody that's picked up a guitar since then is influenced by that album, whether they know it or not. And a great live recording, and just some really great musicianship and great guitar playing all the way through it. And we're going to just kind of touch base on some of that and some of their styles. And sometimes Dickey and Duane sounded really similar to me. And in the early days, it was hard to tell who was playing which parts to me until I got to know the players a little better. And even then, still, sometimes they sound like each other, which is fine. The guitar players that work together should blend together and should kind of influence each other and start becoming each other a little bit. Let's start out with Dickey. Dickey Betts kind of basically came from a little bit more of a country way of playing licks, I think, than Duane. You know, Duane would do something more like... But they both had a great tone and great technique. And one of the best examples of that to me would be Stormy Monday on the Fillmore East version. No other version of that by the Allman Brothers or anybody else sounds quite like that track. It sounds like a big band playing it rather than just playing the blues. Dickey Betts. Real B.B. King, real bluesy, great tone and phrasing when he does that. I'm sure you remember that one. Yeah. Dickey and Duane both were great phrasers and both played in major and minor keys at the same time. Is the way I look at it. It's all in the way you phrase your notes. Duane being a little more of a vocal type of player. Sounds a little bit more like something you would sing to. In the great Duane Allman leg. I don't know if he invented it, but he certainly perfected it. Of course, the Layla album, the slide work he does on that, and the fill licks as well is just. Yeah. Duane was more influenced by Delta blues players like Robert Johnson and some of the more old-timey sounding blues, acoustic blues. And Dickey was, I think, more influenced by country guitar. steel licks, Dickey and Duane. Used the Midnight Rider's got some of that in it. Blue Sky's got some of the steel type licks. I think that's so well together is their styles were similar, and to the point where you sometimes, unless you really own it, you don't know who's playing which solo. And so when they played together, they really made it seamless. Although, this is a question. Phrasing sometimes changed through the years. Let's take the original Memory of Elizabeth Reed. Sounds to me like they were. However, when Fillmore comes along, it goes. So you'd have to ask Dickey about that. Did you play it like this? Or did you play it like this? Or did one play it one way, one play it the other? You know, I was really not sure. But the sound of those twin guitars, either in unison or in harmony one, was a beautiful sound. And lots of people took that and made their own thing with it years later. But harmony guitar is a beautiful thing, and nobody did it better than Dickey Betts and Duane Allman. I think of another song. This one, oh yeah. We just did a chicken picking section. You could do that a little bit too. We were talking with Rick Burnett the other day, and he was telling us that was Les Dudick doing some of the fills on Jessica and Ramblin' Man, both on the record of Brothers and Sisters. And it's kind of hard to tell them apart. They sounded quite a bit alike too. When we're talking about Dickey and Duane, Duane Allman was kind of semi-famous, maybe more so than anybody in the band when they started, because he played sessions with Aretha Franklin and Wilson Pickett and people like that. And from his work at Muscle Shoals, people kind of knew who he was and knew his name a little bit. But Dickey was relatively unknown, and Duane wanted him in the band. I think that says something about his playing right there. He mentioned several times, I don't even have to play lead. I got a guy so good, I just play rhythm. And for him to back off and let another guitar player come in and have a full 50% of it speaks for itself of how good Dickey is and was. And they definitely played good together. I think they must have felt the connection as soon as they started playing, because their styles meshed so well. And they probably got there from different ways. Not that they played the same licks, but they played from the heart, and they played similar melodies. And I've seen them, or seen videos anyway, of them pretty much improvising in harmony, which is, what the hell is that? I don't know what it is, but it's magical. Speaking of Dickey and Duane, many years ago in the 80s, I was playing a little club here at Macon called the Rookery, and Dickey Betts shows up and with a good friend of mine, Gary Donahue, brought him out to see us. And so I mentioned to him on the break, hey man, if you feel like playing something, we'd love to have you sit in, if you want to play a song or something. He said, well, maybe I may do that later. And they ate dinner, we played another set, and he comes up and says, man, let me play y'all with you guys. And Tim Brooks, who switched on over to bass, because our bass player didn't know a bunch of Brothers songs, and we played the rest of the night, three more sets, 2 or 3 more hours worth. And the interesting part of that was when we played Allman Brothers songs, Dickey started playing Duane's parts, the space of the solo and the licks too. So I started playing, and we never spoke about it, nothing, but all night long. He was Duane and I was Dickey, and it was fascinating and it was a lot of fun. And I know he had fun doing it, and I didn't mention it because I thought it might be a little personal or something, but it was a lot of fun, and he sang a few songs too, and we just had a blast. And he sounded great, he really did. Even though he sounded like Duane, he still was Dickey Betts. He still had that flair about him, and what a picker, man. One thing about Dickey Betts and Chris Anderson too, they get guitar players' hands. Man, their hands are this long, Look on the neck of the guitar, they wrap it around there twice. They're really good guitar playing hands. What with the personal note here, a few years ago we did a mini tour with Dickey Betts, Poco, and Marshall Tucker Band for about 3 months out west. And Dickey had Dan Toller playing with him. And man, they had a great version of the band, but in the middle of their set, they would stop and get on acoustics, nylon string acoustics, And they played some shit. I didn't know Dickey Betts could play like that. And Dan, either one, they were playing like Django Reinhardt jazz stuff. They'd knocked me out, man. They did it every night, like 3 or 4 songs. And they recorded a live album. I don't know if they put it out on their own, but man, it was as good as anything they ever did. Just the playing itself was like, I can't remember the name of the song, like real jazzy, like lots of movements and stuff in it. Man, it was brilliant. It really was. Another funny Dickey Betts story. We were playing with Dickey up in New York a few years ago, and he goes out and he says, you know, we're gonna play some songs I wrote tonight. We're not gonna do a bunch of old blues stuff Greg likes to do. And then he started out with Statesboro Blues. So, you know, hey, okay, gotcha. Also notable mention to Duane Betts, a good friend of mine now, Dickey's son, of course, that plays with him from time to time. What a great player he is. He sounds a lot like his dad, as he should, and he looks like him a little bit too. And but he plays. There's some instructional videos of him and Dickey showing you how to play Jessica and The Memory of Elizabeth Reed, which parts, you know, one's doing one part, one's doing the other, and they slow it down and stuff. And that might be on there. You could refer to that to see which one they're doing. Check it out this time. Listen to it, see what you think, because you can play it any way you want to. Music's interpretive. One of my favorite Dickey Betts solos would be probably in Jessica, when we're something like that. Anyway, Dickey, very lyrical player too. Let's get into one of Duane's solos. The solo "You Don't Love Me" on Fillmore East has always been one of my favorites. It's got that real rude, raunchy kind of Duane tone. Play that lick. You call it a British lick. I guess he got it from some of the British guitar players. And this one too. Everybody knows that one. That's I can do that. One of my favorite Duane parts too in Fillmore East, when they "You Don't Love Me," when they break it down to nothing. Let's see. Was always experimenting a little bit. He was always taking a chance. You know, he was always stepping out on the limb to get that note, and it was usually worth it. Very rarely did he make a mistake, but when he did, sometimes he made that right. In Mountain Jam, yeah, it's one one lick up. I'm trying to think what it is. He hits the wrong note, and he does it twice, and it kind of sounds like he meant to do it. Probably didn't, but he come out smelling like a rose. So hey, that's what playing is all about. You gotta step out there and take a chance. Why not? Dickey and Duane, to wrap up our Dickey and Duane section for today, which we will continue because there's so much good stuff those guys did. When you play your guitar, always play nicely in tune. Always try to play something kind of lyrical. Play something kind of pretty. Those guys just graced us with some really great guitar playing. So have fun, and we'll see you later. Thanks for watching this episode of Southern Rock Insider. Please hit subscribe and click the notification bell so you won't miss a single episode. If you have any questions or comments and suggestions for future episodes, please respond below, or you can email us at southernrockinsider@gmail.com. This is your Southern Rock Insider, Chris Hicks, and thanks again for watching.
Southern Rock Insider.